What's up everyone, Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. Thanks as always for checking out our videos. Today, as you can see, we're looking at a product from Streamlight. This is the Pro Tac HL USB, and USB is a reference to the fact that you can charge it with a USB cord. Let me give you some of the specs here as we start off. Your highest setting is 850 lumens. It does run for an hour and 30 minutes on that setting. It does come with a USB cord to charge it, so that's included. It also comes with a lithium-ion battery that's already there in the light. And it also runs on two CR123s or one 18650, and neither of those other two options are actually included. You also get a holster with the light, which looks like this. Hook and loop on the back, hook and loop on the front here. Open that up, slide the light in. Very simple, very cut and dry. Packaging isn't anything too fancy, but I do want to tell you that having used this light a little bit, I do like it quite a bit. Let's talk about it in a little bit more depth now. What I want to do now is talk about the different settings you can have with this flashlight. So from the factory, let's call this setting set number 1. You're going to have a high setting, goes to strobe, and then it goes to low. So here we go. High, strobe, low. High, strobe, low. Now, if I hold it on, now I haven't fully clicked it in, but I just press that switch down, it stays on the high setting. I let it go, come back on, it's going to be in that high setting. So you basically have 0.4 seconds in order to scroll between the different ones. So high, strobe, low, high, strobe, low. Alright, click that on, click it off, high, strobe, low. There you go. So it's relatively easy to do. This is kind of standard for a lot of Streamlights, so it comes on at the highest setting and quickly press that switch without clicking it in totally. You'll go to the medium setting or the strobe setting, and then you'll go to the low setting. Now the next option is going to be just the high setting, and you get to that through what they call the 10 tap feature. So you're gonna lightly press the switch 9 times, and on the 10th time you're gonna hold it in, and you'll see basically the light come on, and then it'll shut itself off. So watch this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now no matter what I do, let me just back this up a little bit here. No matter what I do, it's gonna come on at the highest setting. So there's high, there's high. Let me go quickly here. So normally that would scroll through, but that's all just the high setting. So that's your highest output. That's going to be the 850 lumen option. Your lowest lumen setting is 85. So in that first setting I was showing you before, it was 850 and then strobe at 850 and then down to 85 lumens for the lowest setting. Alright, so that's setting number 2, or setting set number 2. The third one is going to give you a low, medium, high. So low 85, medium 350, high 850. So it's 10 tap here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now low, medium, high, low, medium, high, and that's how we have it set now. Now I really like the fact that you can switch it up. I'm not a huge fan of strobe, I just don't really ever use it, so I would have to go from that high down to low. Now I like the fact that we've got something in between. So I'm going to keep it to the setting so it starts at low, works up to medium, and then high, once again, low, medium, high. Here's just a few lights to compare the Streamlight Pro Tac HL USB to. On the bottom we have the Surefire Fury, then the Pro Tac HL USB. We have the Thorfire VG10, the Streamlight Polytac, and the OD color, and then we have the MicroStream up top. So you can see definitely the biggest of all these. And this, as far as an EDC light, I think if you're going to carry it around in a little holster on a belt, almost definitely. If you've got a nice big cargo pocket on the side, yeah, if you're just going to carry this in a pair of jeans or something like this, that's just going to be way too big for me. The end-to-end length here is 6.5 inches, and across it's just going to be just about looks like a little bit more than an inch, maybe an inch. So it's definitely a hefty light. It's definitely going to be a good utility light, emergency light, other things like that. But EDC light, probably a little bit too big unless you're going to be carrying it in the holster. A couple other things to mention. First, it is going to be water resistant. It is drop proof up to 1 meter. The other thing I want to tell you, which is very important, is that it doesn't use kind of like your standard mini USB that you might get with some piece of electronic equipment. It uses a specific one that came with the Streamlight Pro Tac HL USB. And I'll zoom in on the ends here. This one basically is kind of a closed end, whereas this one is an open end, and then we'll show you what it looks like to charge it. Here's a look at the two ends. This one over here is kind of the standard one you'll get with a lot of electronic equipment, and this one here is the one that you're going to get with your Streamlight. Basically you can see the difference. This one's open on the end, and this one's basically more closed, and this is the one you're going to use to charge your Streamlight. When you do want to charge up the Streamlight, basically you have this sleeve here. You're going to slide this back, and that's going to expose, it says B right there, so that's where you're going to insert the little USB charger like so. When this little light here, let's see if I can get that. Yeah, you can see that little dot there. When that's red, it means it's charging. When it's green, it means it's fully charged. And from the battery that's included being totally dead all the way up to a full charge, they say it's going to take about 7 hours. So from 0 all the way up to 100%, 7 hours for that. I want to show you real quick what the charging process looks like. So I've already showed you here that when you plug it in, you get this little, you don't see anything now, but that should turn red when you plug it in, and it needs to be charged, and then it'll be green when it is fully charged. So there's your micro USB goes in there. Here's your normal sized end here. I'm going to plug it into my my computer over on this side here. So that's plugged in, and now you can see it's turned red. And so that's it. And then when it is fully charged, it will turn green. Okay, I'm outside. I'm on my front porch. The closest chair is about 8 feet away, and then the farthest set of chairs you're about to see are about 15 feet away. Let's look at the different settings. So here's your low setting, and we'll go low, medium, high. There's medium, and there's high. So up close, this thing is very bright. It's always so funny to do these reviews outside in front of my house at night, just because it's like pitch black, and all of a sudden this bright light comes on. So anybody in the neighborhood or people driving by are always like, what the heck is that? So anyhow, I'm about 70 feet away from my minivan over in the driveway in the front of the house. You'll see we'll do the 3 different settings. There's the low setting, there's the medium setting, and then there's the highest setting. I mean, and I'm the end of the driveway, I'll put the hot center to the end of the driveway, and the driveway's down about there. And then the other end is probably 5 feet in front of the van. When I'm shining the hot center at the minivan, I can see the entire driveway. So nobody's sneaking up on me if I got this light on the highest setting. Definitely a nice throw. And the center, yeah, you could see it pretty clearly. There's no like burning center and then the rest of the light. It's definitely a hotter center, you know, that hot beam in the center, but it's not just really bright and then dull on the rest. It's very nicely balanced, I would say. Now, while it's not maybe a super impressive, you know, everyday carry dynamic use of a flashlight, one thing I use a flashlight for almost every day, maybe every other day, is to go and dump stuff into our compost bin in the woods. And if I'm doing that at night, we definitely have skunks, we got raccoons, all kinds of stuff out here, so I definitely bring a light with me. We'll take a look at the compost bin, which is about 15 feet away, 20 feet away now. So that brown box with the black thing next to it is the compost bin. So we'll do a low, medium, and then there's high. So you can imagine if I came out here, this is just behind my shed, I'm still doing a bunch of work cleaning up the area, but no raccoon, no skunk, nobody's gonna be hiding back here. And then I'll show you quickly, walking back this way. Got some woods over here, some wildflowers down there, and then the fence, and then this grassy area. But you know, as I'm walking, I could see everything really clear. This is on the highest setting, again, so over 800 lumens right here, looking over at the house. I don't want to shine it too bright at that front window because we got somebody sleeping in that room right now, but anyhow, you can see everything very, very easy to see. That highest setting. Let's go down to the lowest setting. And even that, I mean, if I was walking out here into the woods, definitely see quite well. It's one of those cars passing by I was telling you about. And then the second setting, looking over at the house. I mean, it just really, especially with that light colored siding, it really lights stuff up. I'm over here about 8 to 10 feet from my minivan now. I just want to show you if you were approaching a car and had to shine this to see what was going on inside. Your lowest setting, I can see inside with the human eye. It's a little bit hard to pick up on the camera. Your second setting, definitely easier to see. And then on your brightest setting, you can see those two headrests there. There's a pull-up shade there, but you can even still see the child seat in there. And then absolutely you can see inside quite easily. Last thing I want to show you is the strobe setting. I just did the 10 tap, and so I'm now back to the high strobe low setting. And I'm looking at my my fence that goes around my backyard. It's about 15 feet away now, so there's high. And here's your strobe setting. Let's see what that's like, and then we'll do high strobe. And there's your low setting. Once again, here's your strobe, just so you can see what that looks like. Let's wrap up now and give you some final thoughts on the Streamlight Pro Tac HL USB. Really the two main downsides I would say are going to be, first, your size and your weight. As far as an EDC light, it's just going to be too big for me. 7.2 ounces, pretty heavy. If you wanted to carry it in the included holster, you could certainly do that. I don't put anything in my belt like that. Like I don't carry a Leatherman in a leather case. I just like everything in my pockets. So for me, this is going to be too big as an EDC light. The one main other downside is that I wish, and it's not a major deal, but I wish that they had threaded this section here at least a little bit. So maybe you slide it up and then maybe twist once or twice. It doesn't seem like it's super loose or anything, but I worry that over time, as you use it more and more, that's going to, you know, loosen up, and then maybe you're going to leave some of the electronics exposed as far as that micro USB. Again, not a deal breaker, but something that, you know, I wish they had done differently. And I guess the one other thing I'll say is when it comes to USB charging, you heard before as I described it, it's pretty long charge time. I wish, and it doesn't seem like many companies at all are doing this, but when it comes to using USBs to charge a flashlight, you know, when you have your iPhone and you can plug it into your computer to charge it, or that little, you know, that little square plug, I don't really see any companies offering you the option to, you know, plug one end in here and plug another end to a plug and then to charge it in the wall. And maybe that has to do with the technology, you know, and how quickly it charges. It might burn out the batteries or stuff like that. I'm not on that level of things when it comes to all the deep inside technology of these flashlights. However, I just wish that was an option rather than just plugging it into your computer. I wish that they gave you the option to plug it into, you know, a wall for quicker charge times. Now, those are the I think minor downsides. On the positive side, I love the 10 tap idea. I think that's just fantastic. I don't like the idea of high strobe low. I can work with it on Streamlights, and the function overall of the Streamlights has been good for me, and so I don't mind dealing with that. But I love the fact that you can set this to high strobe low. You can also set it to just high or the low medium high option. I just think that's fantastic. I've been running this on the low medium high option, and I've really liked it that way. The other thing I will mention is that I was trying to just wear the battery down to, you know, work on the charging process, and I would just leave it on for a long time. As is expected when you have it on the highest level, it does say hot right here, so this whole end is going to get warm. But I noticed that there were, you know, when I put on the low setting, the medium setting, and just let it sit there, it didn't get overly hot, and there were no flickers, there were no issues, it worked well. So, you know, I'm thinking if you had to have this on the low setting for a really long time, you know, power out, something like that at home, it's going to work great. So even though it is a little bit big for EDC, I like how it feels in hand. That's just kind of a nice size for me. I would say I generally have large size hands, but that just feels really comfortable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this as a light in my EDC bag. So yeah, that's, you know, I like it enough that I'm going to keep it in that bag as, you know, a backup if A, I forget my EDC, or B, I need another flashlight there. And yeah, so overall, you know, definitely a plus. Lots of pluses with the Streamlight Pro Tac HL USB. And you know, if you've had Streamlight products before, you're probably going to be pretty happy with them. There are some that have been hit or miss, but in general, like even the Stylus Pro, a lot of people have carried as a pen light, you know, a little you know, at work or whatever it might be. That's been a great light for a lot of people. The Micro Stream, a lot of the Polytacs people like, and then certainly some of their weapon mount lights and their higher end stuff a lot of people have liked. And this falls definitely into the you know, thumbs up category for me when it comes to lights from Streamlight. So well done, guys. And as always, I'll let you know if there are any issues long term. We'll certainly report back to you. Thanks as always for checking out the videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids on YouTube if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram and Tumblr as well. Take care.